Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Crafty Mama of Two. Today we are planting asparagus and strawberry root. But first we gotta prep the beds. So I planted a moonflower bush here in this corner a couple of years ago, and it comes back every year, which is great, except that the twigs and the seed balls are really hard to get out, and the seed balls themselves are very spiky, which makes for a very painful removal. As you can tell here, I am wearing gloves and they are fighting me every step of the way. Next, I'm moving on to where the tires are. We did put cardboard down before we placed the tires. Oh, and there my camera goes. The wind caught it. So we did put cardboard down underneath the tires, and so that's helping get this grass grow out taken care of. But of course, I do still have to do it. I didn't do a garden last year, and so the overgrowth that we had was not necessarily extreme, but it was bad enough. So I started out pulling the grass just in front and around in the middle, in between the tires. The tires are touching, but there is still a little bit of the grass in between. And then I found a tree that I wanted to get out of there, but of course I couldn't pull it, and breaking it off back and forth because it was new growth wasn't working. So I had our oldest bring me a pair of clippers that I had over on the table by the house. And here comes my youngest. I had him picking dandelions because I'm going to make a dandelion salve for my arthritis this year, since we have enough dandelion honey downstairs. I was so proud of myself when I actually got that to pull out and didn't fall on my butt doing it. And it's about here that I realized that we are going to be laying mulch around the tires to keep the weeds down this year, and so pulling around it is just going to be too much. So I'm going to pull what I can in the tires. Obviously you can see it's not perfect, but we are going to fill them in a little bit, and then plant in them. We're just going to add some compost to the top of it, and it should work out just fine. I had my oldest helping me rake up some of the moonflower bush as well as the leaves that had accumulated over the winter. And then he's going to lay the mulch for me back behind in between the stick fence and the tires, and then also on the front side so that we can run our lawnmower. We have a riding one, and we can run the tires over the mulch and be able to mow the grass nice and close. Eventually I might put some sort of edging or maybe some stepping stones there, but for now the mulch will do. You can see me crouched down there at the entrance to the cottage garden. We have a volunteer mulberry tree coming up right there, and so I'm just trimming back the branches so that it's not invading the walkway but can still then shoot up. So he grabbed some soil here. He's going to be topping off all of the tires with the soil just to give us some planting area. And here I'm telling him he needs to move the wheelbarrow closer so that he's not making a mess. I do have to say I'm very thankful for all of the work and help that my boys give me in the garden and in the yard, because it definitely makes my life a lot easier. Well, most of the time anyway. Alright, on to the main attraction. So for some reason my audio didn't pick up on my camera, so we are getting started with the asparagus. I have an old creamer bottle that my mom gave me. I usually water glass my eggs in these, but it was the perfect container to start soaking my roots. So I bought 6 asparagus plants. It comes in packs of 3 at Walmart, and all I did was soak it in there for about 20 minutes while I was doing other things. You can see me here, I'm dumping it out, and then I'm just going to separate the roots. I have about 5 beds ready that he's put topsoil or compost in for me, and I'm going to plant 1 asparagus in the center of each one, and then I'll have 1 left over that once he gets the tops put in, the other ones I'll go ahead and add that last one in. And then you'll see later in the video where I take 4 strawberry plants and basically do the exact same thing, where I soak the roots and then separate them, and I put them basically in a square formation around the asparagus, which eventually the strawberries will create runners and the asparagus will continue to expand, and so eventually I will have to separate them, but for now this is what I have in my veggie garden and it seems to be working out the best for us. So with asparagus roots, you have a lot of roots and then you have like a little node on top. You can do it one of 2 ways. Either you can make a small hill and put the roots on either side so that it's sitting on top and then cover the roots. Or what I do is I just kind of split it in half and just lay it down flat and cover the roots. I don't make a hill in the center. I've never had any issues with the asparagus not coming up. Quite honestly, I have stronger asparagus than other people do. And so this is just what's always worked for me. I have probably close to 10 other asparagus plants between the cottage garden and the veggie garden, and this is how I planted all of them, and they're all coming up fabulously 3 years in. Alright, so now it's time for the strawberries, and like I said, I went ahead and soaked the strawberries. They actually come with a rubber band around them, so I'm just putting that to the side, and then I'm separating them. There's 10 strawberries per package, and I got 4 packages, so we're going to put 4 in each one, and just move down the line. Once these come up, I am going to keep them moistened. Once they come up and they start producing, they will send out runners, and I'll have to make sure that they're not going into the ground. As you can tell, the ground underneath the compost is a little tough and a little hard. I'm hoping that doing this is going to aerate it a little bit. If not, I I might have to do something to amend it. And of course I started out with gloves, but then sticking my hands in the water, the gloves are just going to get disgusting. So here I am with no gloves on. And honestly, I don't mind gardening this way, but if anybody else gets their nails done or does their nails at home, you know the annoyance of getting the soil underneath your nails. And it's about this time every year that I go, do I really want to continue doing my nails, or do I want to just let them go? And I've done it both ways. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling at the time. So you can see here, I'm literally just making a square, putting one in each corner. The asparagus is in the center, which you can't really see because the node is just barely underneath the soil. And then when I get done planting all the strawberries out, then I give everything a really good water, and I let it sit overnight for a couple of days actually, and then we're going to water again. I try to do a deep water method, but when you're putting out new seedlings or new roots or new bulbs or anything like that, you really need to water more frequently. Just get those roots going. And Bones just getting the mulch out for me here. He thought he needed to push it back towards the fence, and I actually went it farther out, so we got all that squared away. All in all, we wound up getting 40 of the strawberry plants out. We got 6 asparagus. I will eventually fill in a few of the tires probably next year or the year after with more asparagus, just so that we have varying ages of asparagus so that we don't just lose them all at once. But that is it for this video. Hopefully it was informational. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe. I'm hoping this year for the garden season, we will have a lot more videos out, and they'll all be educational and fun. I'll see you guys next time.